Okay, just a little bit. Hey guys, welcome to my live stream. Welcome to my cactus live stream, cactus care, seedlings, also vegetables from time to time. We will discuss that today. I have a few new seeds and that kind of thing. So we will have a look. My mom bought me stuff again that I want to discuss today. Check it out. This is a little, I don't know what it is. We will see. This is not sponsored, by the way. This is just what my mom gave me, and I can't control my mom. She buys what she wants, and yeah, I would just show it. It's not meaning that it's superb. It's not a review. I mean, maybe we will see, but it's definitely not sponsored. So yeah, welcome to my live stream, guys. Today I will discuss a few things. I have many seedlings that need to be watered. Many little cactus seedlings. Hey, good morning. Great to see you. Hope you're all right. I'm a little bit earlier. To be honest, I was up the whole night. I don't know. I was up at maybe 4. And since then, I just tried to wait until I can do the live stream. I didn't want to do it much earlier. So yeah, but I'm already getting tired again. I've been up a while. But yeah, great to be back. Hope you are all right. Yeah, brought a lot of stuff today, and also seeds, new seeds that I want to discuss. Want to look at this thing that my mom bought, and I want to discuss something with the groups. I've been moderating a lot on Facebook. A lot of cactus communities that I've been moderating on Facebook. And I just wanted to say that, like, this morning someone sent me a message, kind of being disappointed that I kind of drew back from moderating. And I just wanted to talk about that a little bit today. I've been filming videos about that this morning, but I never really felt like it's the right place or it's the right video, so I'm trying to do it here. Yeah, I've been moderating half my life, you know. I just enjoy that feeling of having hobby communities, because sometimes hobby communities, it's the type of stuff that people genuinely like, where they really put love into the hobby, and I like that. So I always enjoyed building communities, and over the years I did a lot of that on Facebook. These Facebook groups just allowed, it was easy to create communities. I was involved in classic forums before Facebook, did a lot of moderating, and I still miss that time. And yeah, and over the years I felt like the conditions for moderating and adminning Facebook groups have become difficult, more difficult than they were. So I eventually kind of had to step back a little bit from it. And yeah, and some of the groups were very big. And yeah, for now I just paused them. I don't want to rule out that one day I might get back to that, but it's just something that right now, it was just getting to a point where the amount of work that they expect admins to do is unfair. You have to check almost every account that joins, because sometimes they just try to message people to sell stuff that doesn't exist. You have to be very careful when you're moderating, and it just eventually it felt a little bit to me like they are dumping all the responsibility on the backs of the moderators, and a lot of that stuff could only be done like on the server side, by blocking IPs from certain countries that are famous for that. You know, like you can always unblock a certain IP if you find out that's a genuine user. But we had a lot of spam attempts to just sell plans that aren't there. Oh yeah, I read about the time change. I'm totally confused. I don't know. I'm not sure if we are having time change in Europe too. Because people kept telling me about time change and that kind of stuff, and I never really, like, because the clocks that I'm using, they would automatically change the time again, then I wouldn't even know. But my whole cycle is messed up a little bit right now. I was up at 4. I'm not sure why. Yeah, but it's become difficult to moderate these hobby groups on Facebook, because there's so much attempts to defraud people, like by just people from other countries, like poor countries, and this doesn't mean that I'm faulting them, but it had a devastating effect on the hobby communities, and eventually it burns you out. I was so burned out by that eventually, by moderating and dealing with, like, they're currently rolling out these auto moderators, like they're literally trying to replace actual moderators that look at stuff. They want that to work with a computer, but a computer has a high rate of failure. So very often they had flagged posts that were completely benign, and all that. You always have to fight against that, and the customer service keeps getting worse. I recently talked about that one issue that I had, and that I'm in the 40th email back and forth communication just to solve a little problem that they could easily solve, and they didn't do it. So I was just not seeing any kind of long-term viability to work with these guys, because you got to see it like that. I'm a creator. I created communities where many people post, and I also create pages, and they show it to less and less people, to fewer and fewer people. Like they are trying to have AI that they can show. So yeah. I feel a little insulted, to be honest. I understand they want to make money, but they're building like nothing works the way it's supposed to work then. Like these automated moderating systems that they have, they are not a reliable replacement. And I know it because I constantly had to complain about it. And yeah. And eventually then you have, like, in order to weed out the scammers, you have to run that thing at the strictest level. Otherwise, you have people that post in the group to complain that they have been defrauded. And when that, so you have to make sure that doesn't happen. So you have to make sure that, for example, a new account can't post right away, in order to weed out the people that just create a new account and a new account to continue to sell. And you have a setting that new members need to be in the group for, let's say, 28 days before they can post. Those are the kind of settings that you can really use to weed out the scammers, because very often their profile will eventually be deleted. But it's just that, and so much responsibility, and in the way social media is going right now, there's so much hostility, so much toxicity in social media. And that toxicity also hits the people that moderate communities, and they need to see that, Hey, good morning, Robert. I'm just ranting because I got a mail about the Facebook groups that I post, and I understand. But these guys have been like, I had such a hard time with them, just trying to work normally under normal conditions. And when you run a group, like it's such a time-consuming thing. You spend so much of your time just moderating, just checking posts, just checking accounts. You need to know that whatever you're doing it, and it's not hurting society. You're not just generating a huge AI database, for example, to use against people like me. And that's just one thought that goes into it. But I feel like right now they are pushing, like they're trying to push people's buttons too much. They're trying to generate a response, get people to comment. When people get angry, they like to comment. They like to make angry smileys, that kind of stuff. And I feel like they're doing it too much. And they're doing it to a point where it hurts society, where they should just stop. Because you need to know that these buttons are there on people, that they could press them, but we decide not to do that, not to go there. And yeah, I see so much ugliness on my timeline now, and I feel like I reported different stuff that was just barbaric, really, like where people were really posting mean stuff. And I'm usually not someone who's reporting much. This was really stuff, like, as a German with the history, where they were talking about how I don't want to even repeat it, but it was really horrible, and they haven't even removed that. So and that was when I thought, okay, at this point you can't really say that it's an accident. At least maybe they removed it later, and I hope they did. I really hope they did. It would speak for them, because what I saw was a horrible kind of post that is just intended to make people, to hurt people, to create hurt, and they left it up. They left it up, and at that point, I kind of said, okay, that they need to reconsider what they are doing. It's not even. I believe that social media can be great. It connects people all over the world. It connects people like me who reaches people in Australia, in the United States, in India. We have people from everywhere in the live stream, and that are seeing my posts. So social media could be good if they would tone down the evil functions a little bit. So yeah, and that's why was one of the reasons why I kind of stepped back a little from group moderating. Aside from the fact that I was getting weekly messages by people just angry because their one day old account couldn't post, or because the auto moderator denied a post just based on, because they use these automatic, like Facebook generates these lists of known words that can mean spam, but it's not reliable. And then the auto moderator denies that post, and people are mad for a good reason. In that case, it's just these mistakes happen when you have an AI that's running. And yeah, eventually I was burnt out. And that's what I wanted to say. Maybe we will bring them back one day. But it would mean that I hope that social media also changes a little again until then. I'm really missing the time, just 2014, the way social media was at that time. And I see so much good that could be done with social media, that can be done. People coming together to help, people coming together to demand positive change, just stuff that is good for humanity, but right now they are really, like, sometimes it feels like some social media companies are intentionally trying to tear society apart. They are, and that is why it made it harder and harder to do that job on a daily basis. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So I apologize for doing that. Like, before all the cactus stuff, we'll come to the cactus stuff now. I just wanted to say that it wasn't that I didn't want to do it anymore. I couldn't. I was already tired 5 years ago, and it's just like, you need to know that you need to know that you are getting some kind of protection, some kind of support when you need it. And I haven't seen that in my 40 emails that I've had with these guys. I haven't seen it. So yeah, okay. Let's go to the cacti. I brought a lot. Let's discuss them. Yeah, let's start here. Okay, so these are looking good. It's important to let the soil dry out now, because they are just, we are trying to find the perfect amount of humidity in between letting them get too dry and letting fungus gnats thrive. Hey, welcome to the live stream. Great to have you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, so I will get me the thing for that I don't flood the desk, and I would start watering now. Watering is a lot that I want to do now. Have a lot of seedlings that need water. Yeah, and I'm always happy to take questions. That's what the live stream's for. Okay, yeah, and sometime soon, I would start streaming from outside. We are cleaning up the like where we will put the cacti later, and I don't want the area full of weeds, so we would start streaming from outside soon. And I'm looking forward to that, having nature around us again. It's still a little bit too cold in the morning, but we get there. We will get there. Yeah, okay. So this just needed a little bit of water for now. And now the soil needs to dry out again. really important to do that now. Once you have something like fungus gnats, they never really go away. What you can do is to control the humidity, to have good water management, and that's what I'm doing here. You could also move them into a mineral medium, but I'm trying to go a different approach. We would see how it goes. Like in the beginning, in the first year, I like to have them in a rather organic soil. And after that, sometimes I use minerals, sometimes not. It depends on the cactus. But overall, I'm doing more organic soil mixes today. Okay, this needs water. Little seedlings are still not out of the worst, like through the weeds, but they're getting there. I think they will make it. I have a good feeling with them. This is okay. All right, next one. Yeah, these here, you have that one big seedling in center and everything else just looks devastating. These little seedlings do not grow fully, like not growing properly. Unhealthy genetics. It's all I can say. This is Teleflora, no, Humcus roro, also multi-hybrid. Yeah. Some of them might not even grow in a year from now. They might still have the same size. Sometimes they don't grow. We will see what they do. Long term, if they can survive, they are welcome to stay. I will not remove them if they survive. But everything that doesn't, I take out. Okay. Yeah. Let that water sink in a little, and then I will water again. Okay. Yeah, we will see. For now, letting the soil be a little bit more drier has just worked in my favor. A lot of the issues that I have in the constantly wet soil, you just don't have in the drier one. But you need to make sure that some of them, they are tiny like this and they don't have a lot of time if you miss the watering. Okay. So I will see if that, like when I sprayed them, I saw that 1 or 2 seedlings were moving. That shouldn't be. They don't seem to have a good root, is what I'm saying. Yeah, this is dead. I will take this out. Sometimes when a seedling doesn't have a root, it will also not survive, or it will not do well at the very least. Yeah, the others are okay. A little bit more water, spraying a little bit on top of them, like a little bit of rain. Yeah, but that's okay. So, but let's discuss what my mom bought me. I would just remove the manufacturer. This isn't an ad. It's just what my mom bought me, and I can't influence her. So yeah, this is something for sowing out. I don't know what it is. It seems to be a little tiny planter. Oh, this is strawberries. This is strawberries. We will be growing strawberries. So this box contains soil, including a little bag of seeds. And you can just sow them out. I will look at that later. This is great. I'm sure that will be fun. We will be growing our strawberries. These are nothing special. I think these are the same kind of strawberries that I have growing outside, but it will still be fun to grow them. And yeah, I got aubergine seeds. And this is melon, sweet melon. I want to sow these out within the next live streams. I'm not sure when. And I can't tell you if the seeds are good or not. We will try that out. We will test that. But that's the plan for the future. I just wanted to bring them in because I'm happy about it. I just like that the stream kind of evolves a little bit. Okay. Yeah, so this goes back under the lamp. Right now, I'm very unhappy with some of them. The ones that just stayed behind, that never really developed. There are some that are really, that have barely grown since they have come up. Yeah, I have them wild in the, not sure how they grow. They are just there. I like, my mother-in-law used to grow strawberries, but I haven't been very involved with that, so no idea. We will see how that goes. Actually, I will have to spend a little time reading. I don't think it will be complicated to sow them out, and I have no idea what the frost tolerance is, what they can take. We'll see. But I just want to have them for inside, just to grow them inside on the live stream. It's just fun. Yeah. Oh, and I posted that time lapse video of the chili yesterday, by the way, in case you haven't noticed. Yeah, it was a little short. There were just many different parts that I had to cut out, because I was like, every time I was walking past the camera, my shade was a little bit visible and kind of messed with some of the recorded videos. So I need to kind of work on that. I might have to let down the, like the Windows thing. I don't know how it's called. The roll thing from the window. I need to let that down to make sure that that not every time I walk past the camera, I throw a shade into that thing. That's why it was so short. But it looked okay. It looked good. Yeah, there might be some that are frost hardy. The ones that I have in the garden, they either grow back every year reliably, or they just regrow. Like that the main plant, that the main stalk survives and pops again. I will look into that. I'm a newbie. I'm a total newbie when it's about that stuff, and I just enjoy doing it. I don't care. We are doing a positive thing. It's important to try out, and I might actually build me a composter. By the way, I wanted to have a composter for a while, like a bigger one. I had one that was made of plastic, and it always flew away. Like within the first 6 months, it always flew away. So now I have decided to build me one. And now that I looked at this kind of design, I could really do it like this, I just looked at this kind of little model of a compost bin. If I get maybe the wood and can nail it together like this, maybe I can build me something like that. Want to do more gardening in the future. I need to be more calm, relaxed. Otherwise, I'm getting a heart attack. And I'm not joking. I'm on a bad path. I can feel it. Sometimes I can feel my skull, like it's like I'm having electricity in my skull. So I really need to, like, in the hair, in the hair follicles and whatnot, I just need to calm down. I have too much stress in my life. That's also one of the reasons why I'm stepping a little away from the group stuff. I just, you need to give yourself rest sometimes, and I'm trying to do that. Okay, so I want to water these here. Check it out. A lot of seedlings, and for now they are okay. Here's one that rolled around, and that is usually a bad sign, especially if it's in soil that is this dry. Because the seedlings should actually have a solid connection in this kind of dry soil that it has here. I want to water them now, spraying them, and then we might move that seedling back if it still has a root. If it doesn't have one, we might take it out already. Oops. So yeah, a lot of water here because this has been drying out very, very much. And then I will see how the root situation looks. If they are all in the soil, no, this one isn't. Here's one that's falling over already. That's not a good sign. Have the fungus gnats been evil again, eating my roots? Yeah. So I've potted them up a little bit, but when the root is damaged, that's not a good sign. Sometimes it can regrow, but often it doesn't. So a little bit more water to get the soil to loosen up a little, because that's necessary for the root to get in. You can only really get them into the soil if the soil has enough humidity. Otherwise, you are at risk of damaging the tiny fragile seedling, and that's just totally unnecessary. Just water a little bit more and the soil should become easier to handle. Okay, nice. So yeah, and I'm always happy to take questions if you like. I'm open to that. If not, we are just going through with the seedlings like always, and maybe sowing out. We will see, but probably it's too much. There's just too much to water today. These need to dry out. These needed to dry out, and now it's time to water again. Soil is completely dry. At that point, I feel like we've did our duty to keep it safe from fungus gnat stuff. At this point, we need to water again. Okay. So here's another one, and this is in a takeaway container. We've experimented with them. They were okay, not great, but it worked. So let's spray the seedlings here. Also, soil a little too hard, too dried up. So I will try to get it, give it some flexibility again. There's one or two seedlings that I would love to correct that are just upside down, and yeah, we would see if I can get them perfectly into the soil, because that's the last chance they got. If this doesn't work, they will probably expire. Okay, yeah, and the more I water, the more seedlings are starting to sink in, and that means you might have to sometimes do more. A little bit more water. Water always keeps the soil, gives the soil everything that it needs to be to push the seedlings into it. A lot of water gives you visibility. These are the type of seedlings here that we have here that would also be good in mineral. Sometimes you have seedlings where you just know that they would do well with a mineral soil. But yeah, I'm trying to work without that. But I still see that in this case, they might look a little better in a mineral soil. You can't always win them all. You can't win them all. So these are looking good. They need water, but that's okay. There are one or two seedlings that are a little bit angled. I will see what we can do there. Okay. Yeah, there are too many seedlings that have had a mediocre connection to the soil. Sometimes you need to get involved and put them a little deeper. That is important, because if you don't do it, nobody cares if the seedling suddenly isn't there anymore. Like, nobody notices even sometimes. So if you can do something to improve the chances for a seedling, do it. Otherwise, you might have none eventually. Okay. Yeah, these need water, dry soil, and a size that is dangerous. This is the type of size that can be claimed within a few days by fungus gnats. So now, keeping the soil dry from time to time, making sure that they can thrive in there is a good idea. But yeah, one or two seedlings might need to be repositioned. This one needs a little deeper, needs to be a little deeper, and the other one too. So yeah, but the rest, this comes back to the lamp. Okay, yeah, these here need water, and they are too deep in the pot. If they were higher, it wouldn't be so bad. But in this case, yeah, they just don't get as much light and as much ventilation. So I would spray them for now. Repotting in the near future. I just have different kind of problem cases that need to work first. These need water. This is dehydration. You can see that the seedlings have kind of are smaller than they are supposed to be at that age, so they need more water. And seedlings at that age, they can also recover pretty fast, but you have to be consistent in watering for a few days at the very least, regularly, every time it dries up. Okay. So in this one, this is also one of the containers where there is one healthy seedling and it's up there. And the rest, who knows, doesn't look good. I consider dumping all of them that don't survive. Like that really, like every time I see one of them is not doing well, I take it out. That are not thriving. So we would see. This is just too unhealthy for my taste. There are people that collect that kind of stuff, but you got to know what you're getting. If you don't graft them, that can be really bad. They often don't thrive on their own root when they look like this. It's just a little bit of genetic defect. A few of them are green, so maybe we have a chance to get a few healthy ones in between, but it's not the general rule of thumb in this cross. Okay, so in this one, most all right, but I want to really bring that seedling back up. You see it has leaned over a little bit. It's not a huge thing. I usually do something every time. I pick it up. I move a seedling here and there that would otherwise not survive. You need to see that because you will always see little signs before you lose a seedling. And you need to be aware. You need to really look into that. And in this case, once the seedling's so low, lying sideways, that's usually not a good sign. And I want to bring that back up. I want to have it not so buried in the soil. Buried is bad if you want to stay alive. So yeah, this will be watered a few times now, and then it goes back to the lamp. The seedlings look okay. They're not horrible. Okay. Yeah, this one here looking okay, but some of them have that kind of a genetic unhealthiness that you sometimes see in health variegated seedlings. I believe some of them could have that. We will wait and see. In the beginning, that often doesn't show. You sometimes need to wait a little longer until those traits come out. So for now, it just means having patience with them. Want to water the soil to a point where I can move seedlings again. Here's a seedling that I want to take out, just one that didn't make it, and the others I just lift up. Trying to bury that one seedling here into the soil. And yeah, this is okay for now. This can go back under the lamp. Later we will have a look at it again. Okay, these need water, but everything else is okay. Space is an issue. They need to be singled out. Is on the list already of plants that need to be singled out. I'm just having too many cacti right now, like too many good ones. It's a good problem to have, but it's still a problem. We have to at some point maybe graft on a few seedlings here and there. We will see what we do to get rid of the excessive amounts of plants that we have, but we will find something. These need water. Nutrient deficiency, I thought, but then they have been fertilized and it shouldn't have been. It should not still be there. Like if it were a nutrient deficiency that caused this yellowish discoloration here, it definitely wasn't fixed by fertilizing, and usually it is. If it's just a nutrient problem, then you often can fertilize it away. It can take up to a year, sometimes even longer, but you can really see it. Okay, so I will water them. This is Taylor Flora, really good hybrid. Interesting hybrid, old school, but still interesting. And I just want to remove a bunch of stuff here and there. Pieces of wood, that kind of stuff. Okay, so next one. I'm incredibly tired. This night I was up in the middle of the night. I don't know, my inner clock is damaged. I don't know. So yeah, this one here needs water. Apart from that, they look okay. I don't see that the roots are doing bad. Sometimes you can see that they are growing, but the root situation is horrible. In this case, this is not happening here. So I want to water them. Maybe I will move a seedling here and there just to get it a little bit straighter, because that keeps them away from the soil. You give them hydration, like you give them hydration from the base, and they have oxygen that gets to them all around the seedling, and I like that. Okay, a little bit more water here, and then we're moving on to the next one. Yeah, they need water for now. And these have discolorations like some of the others. This could be variegation. But since there are a few green seedlings in between, I'm not 100% convinced. We will see. But this looks interesting. It's a multi-hybrid by Uwe Kahle. The mother's called Fii, F-I-I. Interesting name. But yeah. Here's another one. Smaller seedlings, so they need more water. Need to be a little bit more careful with everything that's smaller and is already out of the bag. At this point, they don't have so much room for neglect. They don't leave much room to forget them. In general, it's a good thing to not do that with plants. Always got to treat them with respect. Always know that they are there, that they are alive and could be not alive tomorrow. Okay. So yeah, a little bit more water here. But apart from that, this is looking okay. Yeah, these here. Yeah, this is not good. This is a root situation. We will discuss that later. When you see seedlings rolling like just now, it's a good sign something's not wrong with that seedling. In this case, it was true also. Something had attacked the root system here. You don't see the root anymore. And in that case, I want to dry out the soil. Think I might let these dry out a little longer. Just because I was so unhappy about that seedling that just fell over now. Gives the seedlings a little extra time to dry in the new soil. These here look horrible, not growing well since the beginning. Yeah, Hilde Winterer hybrid. I want to water it. And if on the long run, 2 or 3 seedlings from that container will make it, then I'm happy. And there are some that really look better than others, like this one here, this one here. They have spines at the very least. Okay. Then these need water. They're too small to be out without being watered all the time when they are dry. And now that I'm watering it, this will give me maybe half a day. We will see. It always depends on the temperature that you have in your environment, in your grow space. And the warmer it is, the faster the water evaporates. Also depends on what kind of a soil you use. I really value water when growing something. I give a lot more water than other people, because I believe that in order to flower, in order to be healthy, you need that lot of water. When plants are outside, they are constantly exposed to condensation, to drip water, and if you can't replicate that, might not be so good. Okay, so I want to spray these here. These look good. I like that. Check it out. Not bad for now. This is Fast 11. Really good hybrid. And in this case, they look healthy. I had one container that looked a little unhealthy with Fast 11. But I believe it was just a bad father that I used. Okay, now we have to look at this here. I want to spray it just to gain a little bit of visibility and stuff like that. And then I will decide what to do here. Here's a seedling that I want to push into the soil again. It looks healthy. It just looks like it lost access to nutrients and water. The others here is some, like these down there, are very small, a little bit too small. We might lose them, or one of them. I tried to water those a little bit more, but they are already behind. And I want you to know that sometimes you can't catch that up. Like if in the beginning, important life force was lost, it might not be there anymore later on. Okay, these here, they need to be sprayed. I've been repotting them into new soil, and for now this is looking good. This is what I expect. Just seedlings growing naturally, healthily. Always got to make sure that you're not forgetting to water after moving seedlings. This can look like this is a super wet, like super organic soil that stays wet for long, but in my appearance, classic sowing soil can dry within hours. Okay, next one. Yeah, these need water too. And they've been a little bit dehydrated already, so they get that water knowing they can use it later on. Okay, let's see what we have here. We need to clean up. There are 1 or 2 seedlings that didn't make it. This is a lot of seedlings, and not all of them will make it. So I want to water them now just to get the soil a little bit humid, a little bit flexible, and then I will start cleaning up. Okay, so here's a seedling that I take out. That's nothing anymore. And this one also. This is just a dried kind of thing. Like I said, if you have a seedling that in the very important first months, or maybe just weeks, doesn't have what it needs, it might not catch it up later. Okay, so I want to water that. Clean soil is important, so I remove everything that expires. I don't want to have that kind of a constant mold risk or fungal risk on the soil. Okay, so these need work. They, see that kind of sideway lying seedling? I don't like that. I hate that, and I want to spray them so I can fix that. Here's a seedling that I try to set a little deeper, to pot a little deeper. It might work, it might not. We would see. Yeah, I'm just trying to be careful about not injuring the root system, because the root system is so fragile. But this is okay for now. I never stop moving stuff. I'm never 100% happy with anything here. You are constantly changing little stuff. That's the only way that you can guarantee that you see all the problems that you have. The more plants you have, the more containers you have, the more difficult it gets. Okay, so these here, yeah, I transplanted them into new soil, and this one's already giving up. I don't want it anymore. That's how it's really giving in. You can really see it. It's transparent, like that milky transparentness that the seedling often gets, like when it's really... We can take it out, I think. Very often you have variegated seedlings that fail to grow any substantial amount in the beginning, that grow at all. And if they don't do it, at some point my patience runs out. So for now, this is okay. But yeah, one or two of the seedlings just don't look like they make it. They look like they are hanging and having a bad day. And that can, most likely it is because they are genetically impaired, disadvantaged, whatever you want to call it. That's great. Yeah, it's crazy how much space you need. Like long term, you either do it like that, you either start singling out the way we do it now, or you're losing more and more plants because care and good spots, it's all limited, you know. You will at some point run out of one of these big factors, that you can just water so many plants, or that you can just give so many plants a good spot under the lamp. So yeah, and the more often you single them out, the more likely you will probably also ditch problems with fungus gnat, that kind of stuff, and that alone makes it worse to repot them a little bit more often in the beginning. Okay, I want to spray them here. This is not looking horrible. The color is a little bit yellowish, but could also be genetic. I would spray this now, just so I can move the seedlings again, work a little bit on the seedlings. Then I usually just try to get them into the soil a little bit deeper. That usually settles the issues that we have. I don't want the seedlings to be in the ground, like when you are putting up a tent, you know, like that thing that you put into, like, not like that. They need to stay above soil level. Otherwise, you are getting issues with fungal infections that are attacking the seedlings from that humid base. Okay, yeah, let's spray them again once more. But this is already decent. Okay, so here's another one. Some of them are green. Look at this. A lot of yellow seedlings that are going nowhere. Really nowhere. And the green ones in between that are normal, somewhat normal. They're still too small, but at the very least they look like they might be through the worst. So I would spray them, and when I'm doing that now, I'm only doing it for the variegated seedlings, or for the halfway variegated seedlings, like the stuff here. The green ones, they could take it, but these can't. Like the drying out, this is the type of stuff that can't take it. So I try to water them a little. And if they survive eventually, then they can stay. And if not, they are just not welcome anymore. We will see what we do. But it gets a little bit more water. And then we will have another look maybe in a week or two. Okay, I wanted to show these here. They look okay. Seed sown on January 19th. Yeah, this is good. They are growing at the very least. They're not growing fast, but they are growing. I want to water them a little. Just a little water. And after that, I will open up a few containers here that I brought, like takeaway containers that I also want to go through. Because it's actually time to take them out of humidity. One more thing that I wanted to say, like this morning or this week, I saw quite a few different posts coming up about Trichocereus terschecki and Trichocereus verdermanianus on social media. I've seen it on Reddit. Apparently, one big chain has put something out into their store, and it looks like verdermanianus, like the species verdermanianus. And I just wanted to talk about that for a minute. Because it's kind of hard to distinguish between classic terschecki and verdermanianus, and here are the differences that I want to point out. Verdermanianus just flowers from the tip, just from the crown, not from the side up and down like terschecki does. When you have a seedling, you can tell that, but in this case, I've seen seedlings that were planted together in a big pot. So my recommendation is that a plant like terschecki or verdermanianus does not pop early on. They only pop if there's a real reason, like you would have to remove the whole tip, and then they might pop, but probably wouldn't. And that's how you can tell the difference sometimes between verdermanianus and the lookalikes, like the Malocactus species that are also growing wider with similar spines. Hey, thank you. Great to see you. I was happy at some point Kami put the face into the time lapse, and it made it better. Like, I personally like that. It came out a little short just because I constantly walked across the camera and it was visible just from the shade, when you walk past the window and that light is picked up by the camera. So next time I have to close the curtains, that kind of stuff, to keep the light out, that I can still have a normal day, because I've been filming in the kitchen, and when I get up in the morning, want to drink some coffee or something like that, and I need to walk past the time lapse. Yeah, so it got a little short, maybe, I don't know, 10 seconds. The original version was maybe 20, and it looked better, but there were many parts in between that were just, too poorly lit when I was just walking through the light. Unfortunate. But it happens. I can continue. We can continue to do it. For now, I just stopped because I wanted to see if people like it or not. So yeah, thank you. Okay, yeah, let's continue. Let's go through the containers, okay? So I will move this aside a little. Oh. I hate that part. That always, wherever I work, mud is following me, and it's probably because I'm chaotic, Wherever I go, I bring the chaos with me, and yeah. But I try to keep the desk clean. It just happens naturally. Okay, yeah. Let's open these up here to see if we can maybe take them out. It would be good. I want to let the soil dry out now. The fungus gnats are bothering me. They are giving me the time of my life, the worst time of my life. So yeah, I want to start drying out the soil sometimes. These very small, still too small to take them out. I'm not seeing the huge loss. Like sometimes you see that seedlings are attacked by fungus gnats. I don't see it here. So I will just close this again. Just happy that I don't have to do anything here. But in general, I'm always happy when I can start hardening them up. But it shouldn't come at the price of the seedling. Sometimes they are just too small. Okay, so here, Amun-Re crossed with Validus. This is good. And the seedlings are tiny. And there's a big pebble that is rolling around, and I want to take that down. Because the seedlings are so small that this can really hurt them. If that thing rolls over a seedling, it won't germinate anymore. Check it out. This is the type of wood stuff that you sometimes see in soil. Yeah, let's put it here on the side. Apart from that, yeah, the seedlings look good. I mean, they're coming up. This is not classic growth. This is a little bit delayed, maybe a little bit genetically impaired. We will see how these will come out. In my opinion, like the way they germinate wasn't perfectly healthy, wasn't really indicating perfect health. So we will see. I want to spray them carefully, really on the, like I press that, I turn that thing to the lowest pressure because they are so small. I just want to have mist at this point. If, like I said, if you hit a little seedling like that, it would stop to just come up. Maybe we have a little luck here. This needs to go to the top to see the light, to bring out more seedlings, that they actually start to grow. Okay. We can take these out, I believe. I think they have the right size to bring them out of humidity. When I say that, I mean, it's usually after 2 or 3 months. And these here are maybe 2 months at the most. But the size is just okay where they can survive it. So we will try it out. These will come out now. And some of the seedlings might respond poorly. We will see. I will try to water a lot, but it might not, sometimes it's not enough for all of them. It's a numbers game. Okay, so in this one, I see issues that really bother me. That seedling in center, that thin one there, that it looks white, and it's leaning on another seedling, and that kind of connection will be where the infection that caused me this seedling will spread to the other one. So I need to take that out. The seedling is still there, but barely. Check it out. This was a variegated seedling. I take a lot of variegated seedlings out. They are often just unhealthy. Not all of them, but some of them clearly are. I lost my trash can. I had a little trash can, and now it's gone. Okay. But yeah, and in this case, I hate that I found that seedling now. Because what does it mean, you know? Does it mean that the root system is not okay, that something is attacking the root system? They are actually too small to take them out. Yeah, for now, I need to keep it in. I would love to take it out now, but check it out. This is just too small. If you try to adjust them to humidity, it's very hard. I have a few that are out, and they are not thriving. They are not having a great time. They're not completely like having the worst day of their lives, but you see that, check it out. It could be easier for them. We will have to water them. And in this case also, the soil, I had to let it dry out. I really want to see dry soil again. Like in between watering, I want that thing to be dry. If it's not dry, I will not water. Or I only water if I know that the seedlings need more water. And that rarely happens in this situation. Like what they need more is that nothing eats their roots. So keeping the humidity low keeps the roots healthy. Is a good way to keep everything healthy. Okay. These will come out. I just don't think that keeping them in there for much longer will add a more positive prognosis to their lifespan. I think if we take them out now, maybe they can already take it. Maybe they can already survive. The soil can dry out. This is at a point where the longer you have it in there, at some point the soil will turn on you. And I'd rather not wait until it happens. Sometimes growing cacti, you're doing, or whatever plant you're growing, you're proactive. You see a problem, or you see that problem coming up on the horizon, and you decide to counterbalance early on. Okay, next one. These look okay. Not bad, good green. Tells you that this, at least genetically they can take it. They're not variegated, but they're not big enough. I want to water them. It's not that the soil isn't wet, but I like them to have that kind of sensation of rain. And this is again in the finest setting, very low pressure, just mist hitting the seedling. That really makes a difference. From time to time, I have that thing and pump and pump and pump, and I hit the seedlings, and it messes them up. So pressure really plays a role when you're watering. Nice, right? And then the soil becomes so nice and flexible that I can just move the seedlings into the soil again. Okay. Here's a seedling that I want to move away from that outer rim here, that hole, that gaping hole that's all around. One of the disadvantages of the takeaway container tech. I don't want to address it every time, but it just shows it. On the regular basis, it is shown in the live stream that the takeaway containers have this issue. The other containers might also have these kind of issues from time to time, but it's not so bad because these are so flexible. They are made to expand, contract, like you put food in it. Sometimes people put hot food in it, so it will expand naturally. That doesn't break. And for seedlings, that can be a disadvantage. Okay. Yeah, just corrected 1 or 2 seedlings. Apart from that, this will go back into the container. So yeah, later today, I might actually record another video about that thing with the Facebook groups. But I'm not sure, honestly. If people have more questions about that, they are free to come to the live stream and discuss this with me. I'm happy to have that discussion with the Facebook communities that we built. But these guys have been overdoing it a little lately. Like that kind of, it has become so hard to moderate. Okay, these two I consider to report. Felt like this is just looking bad. So let me get some gloves, get a pot, and then I would start moving these seedlings into a new one. And this is already the second time that I'm repotting them. And the fact when you're doing that, it takes away the ability of pests like fungus gnat to get a hold. It takes away the ability of the moss here to take a hold, to grow around that seedling. Always got to be careful when I get the soil, because sometimes my cat thinks it's a toilet, but not today. Thank God. So yeah, I put in a lot of soil. I don't want to have that thing come out of the bottom again. Like, I don't want to have a half empty pot. So I really put effort into filling it up. Okay, and this one will be enough for the 2 seedlings that I've just shown you, like the ones in that container here. Now there's too much water here. I need to just give me a second, okay? I need to clean up a little because now it's like on my pants. It's like yeah. Okay. I'm watering the soil where I take the seedlings out because I want to prevent that the root rips off. So first, I want to have water in the soil, in the old soil where the seedlings come out from. After that I water just the soil of the new one, the new pot, in the new pot, just a little bit. I just want to have that top layer, not like when you're working with flour, with that white stuff that sticks to everything when you're trying to work. The same would happen with completely dry soil. So yeah, a little bit more water. I really want to avoid ripping off the little root that they have. And then we will take them out and put them, I don't know, maybe in this part, like, let's put them here. Removing all unnecessary soil. And then I put it in here. And the other one on the right besides it. Cleaning up the unnecessary root, the unnecessary soil, not the root. The root's necessary. The root really shouldn't go away. But if I can remove as much soil as possible, that prevents that the algae that you see there, that green stuff here, that you spread that into the new container. Same is true for pests, fungus gnat, mealybug. The less soil you move in between containers, the better. Okay. Yeah. Label. These are Angelo, by the way. It's interesting. Let me see what we have here. I have a seedling here that I wanted to pot up. Oh. Yeah, this doesn't have a root. I don't think that this is going to live. Oh, this is really not good. It was the only seedling that made it. I will pot it up just in chance, like to give it a chance, but this is not looking good. Like when the root is already gone, that's not a good sign. They usually go when they have given up. It's their lifeline. Really connection to, if that is torn off, you might not be able to get them to recover. Okay. Yeah, this is okay. This will come into under the lamp. Okay. Another one here. Do you ever reuse soil, or what do you do with it? Like, if in the soil that I'm using here to just sow out, I wouldn't want to reuse it inside. Due to fungus gnats, due to potentially bringing in something like mealybug, nematodes, anything that you can spread with the soil. Outside, I'm a little bit less worried about that, simply because outside in the greenhouses, pests often can thrive. When you're inside, you have a hard time getting rid of something. But when they are exposed to the elements, that is less likely. So yeah, maybe sometime when I've sown out and there wasn't any germination, or the soil was hardly used, then I put it into a pot of cacti where you need a huge pot, that has a huge rootstock, and then I fill up with everything that I have. But in general, the less you reuse, the better it is. It's just a risk. No? It's always a risk factor for spreading whatever you might have. Okay. So next one. I want to water these here. Doesn't look bad. But the soil is completely dry, and I want to get it to a point where I can move the seedlings into the soil again. Here's a seedling on the side that is lying sideways that I want to pick up again. Yeah, just that. Trying to get it a little deeper, pot it up a little deeper. Here's a piece of wood that I want to remove. Not because I'm worried about mold or some sort of a mushroom. I would be more worried about the humidity that it keeps holding and that the root sometimes grows into the piece of wood, that kind of stuff. Okay, apart from that, yeah, the seedlings that look worse, like that look weaker, I try to look into them and try to find out why they look weaker. And very often they are just sitting on top of the soil and not fully in the soil. That really makes a difference. So yeah, I corrected 2 seedlings here that needed to be a little deeper, and now it's good. We would see. These here, ready to be watered again. The longer you use soil, the more nutrients are used up. You always lose nutrients that come out of the pot. If you have drainage holes at the bottom, and you should usually have them because it makes things easier for you, then you will always lose a lot of nutrients, especially if you're not working, like if you're working with these long-term fertilizers that release nutrients over time, then it's a little bit different. But most of the time, like a soil that is used up, you might have to fertilize again. I'm not saying you can't reuse it under no circumstances, but you would have to, for one, it would be good to have a pH buffer to just make sure that the soil hasn't lost the right pH level over the years. And that happens a lot, especially if you're using, like if you're using an organic fertilizer that doesn't have that pH buffer that often comes with fertilizer. Like you can do it in an organic way, but you need to be aware of the pH level. And some of the chemical fertilizers, they kind of set the pH already. So yeah, that is what you have to do. You have to fertilize if you reuse the soil and make sure that it's not contaminated in any way. And yeah, that's the only thing. Sometimes you have soil that is just that where there's a toxin in the soil that shouldn't be there. That has happened in the past, like when I've seen it, like that companies sold stuff as compost that wasn't intended to be compost, like stuff that was really toxic. And that can mean that if you have that in the soil, it can, of course, continue to be a long-term problem. But that is the only situation where I would say, okay, that would worry me. You can fix the pH level with the pH buffer. You can put in new nutrients. You just have to make sure it's okay. Soil is okay. Doesn't have a lot of mealybug in it, because that kind of stuff. Or sometimes you have to make sure that when the soil is completely dry, like a brick of stone, like that kind of thing, that is often hard to reverse. Once soil has lost that stability, that flexibility, then it's hard to get it back in. That could be a reason to change. If not, if nothing's broken, don't change it. Keep doing it. Okay, yeah, I want to spray these here a little bit more. I have a few more that need water. It was just a lot this time. And it's because I try to let the soil dry out. I really want to make sure that we do not give any kind of enough space for fungus gnats to populate the soil. They need humidity, and I don't want to give it to them. Like the seedlings need a little bit less humidity than the fungus gnats, and I'm trying to ride that wave. We will see where we land with it. But for now, it works okay. So these here need water. I repotted them, and this is just a new soil. The soil is still pretty stocked up. Over time, this will sink down just from watering. And that will kind of improve the seedlings' position in the soil. They will start to grow into the soil. So just a little rain here, and that's okay. Next one Yeah, and these looks, for example, this looks like the type of soil that I would love to repot. Do I have a pot left? No, I don't. But next time we are doing this, this is the type of stuff where you see that, for one, they are too deep, which already bothers me. Then there was moss that has kind of expired on the soil. You have a lot of dry soil that never really that lost a lot of the natural flexibility once it has really dried out. So this we will repot very soon. Tomorrow I will have new pots again. I usually clean them before the live stream, and this morning was a little chaotic. I was up at 4, and I'm never that early on, like up that early. Okay. And I need to remember that I want to repot them. I don't want to forget it. Okay, this needs to be watered, but this is looking okay. You see that the soil is super dry, but seedlings still look good. This is exactly what I want to have, like dried out soil. And now I can water again without having to worry that I overwatered the roots. Gotta be a little behind here, like, because they are so small. But this is pretty good. They look good. Okay, these here, Born to be Wild. They've been yellow from the beginning, variegated probably. They've been fertilized. They've been watered. They are growing, but they're not growing fast, and it's okay. They don't have to. This has time. I'm sure they are on a good path to see the flower maybe in 2 years from now. If they don't, if nothing happens. If nothing bad happens to them, would be a shame. So yeah, here's something that I want to water. And this is also, like, this is in between. Humidity-wise, do you see the kind of remaining humidity that's in there? That is already where the fungus gnat can still survive. I think I will let this dry a little bit more. These need water. Also, variegated seedling in center, that doesn't look good. That where I don't see that long term. I wouldn't start saving money for school fund for this seedling in center here. It's all I want to say. We will see how long it will grow. I will water them, but at some point, some of them just give in. Yeah. Okay. What else? Here's one that I want to water. You see mineral deposits, and that is usually a sign that the soil has dried out a few times. You usually don't see it when you keep the soil wet, and once it dries, you have these whitish deposits on top of the soil. It's not really something that worries me, but it tells you a little bit about the soil. pH-wise, this could be an issue later on. They get fertilizer, I water them, but you need to be careful here. And also with the roots of the seedlings in general, letting everything dry out fully and then watering again right away is really crucial here. Here's a seedling that didn't make it. I take that out. Yeah, some of the small ones just hated to live. It's just that easy. Some of them were like fully variegated, didn't have a chance, and I don't keep these seedlings around usually. If a seedling does not grow, then it's telling me something. There are so many different healthy hybrids, healthy plants. Don't have to prove every kind of, like prove everything right that they say about hybrid breeding. You can do it in a way that keeps the plants healthy, keeps the healthy genetics and not the weak ones. Okay. Here's one that I also want to water. with same mineral deposits. Could also have to do with the fertilizer. I will look into that, but usually it shouldn't. The fertilizer should dissolve that kind of stuff. Should not collect there on the top layer. We will look into that. Normally the water that I have here is very like 5.5 to 6.5. It's pretty good. We have the ideal water here. Relatively soft kind of water. So yeah. But we have to keep an eye on that. That aside, they look good. If you ignore the mineral deposits on top of the soil, which just happen, then it's okay. So let's move. Let's open a few more of the containers, and then I'm coming to an end soon. But we still have a few that I want to go through to discuss which ones we will bring out. I'm just at that point where I want to push them a little bit more, and if they don't make it, then it happens, you know. Space is limited. These will come out. Feel like they have reached the size where they can come out. I'm not seeing a reason that we have to take them out. At this size, you can still leave them in. 2 weeks, they will not grow much. If we would leave them in for 2 more weeks, it could give them a little bit more growth. The soil looks very clean here. I'm not seeing root problems that would usually lead to the sinking process where, okay, now I need to move them out. In this case, I don't see it yet. We could still leave them in. Let's give them a little bit more time. But long term, they will come out. This is just at the size where I want to have them out. I want to start fertilizing. And if something is variegated, okay, we will take it out if it can survive. Yeah, same here. Green seedlings, I like that. Very small. They could survive it already to bring them out of humidity. But it's unnecessary probably. Let's water them once. And then I will look into, there are 1 or 2 seedlings that are lying a little. And I need to inspect that. I need to find out if that has a reason or if it's just seedlings falling over due to soil drying up. Where is my thing? It's gone again. Oh, here. Okay, yeah, let me see. Here's a little seedling, but it still has a root. Maybe it was just germinating in a bad spot. So I brought that back into the soil, moved it a little deeper. I'm always pushing the seedling at the base into the soil. And all of the things that I do here, you could do in mineral soil. It would even be like, sometimes it would be a little easier, like later on. In the beginning, I prefer organic soil, sowing soil, but you could also make this work in mineral soil, no problem. But you would have to mix the soil, do a lot with minerals, and I'm not doing that anymore. I like my lung. I breathe a lot with it, you know, and all that mineral stuff that you're working around, it's just not healthy. I don't want to do that in huge amounts. If it's a little bit here and there, it's okay. But huge amounts, I don't like to. Yeah, remember it. Okay, I will. Yeah, do it. I will look into that folder. I rarely look into the messages that I get anymore, and it's because I get a lot of messages like spam, classic spam, or I get people that are adding me to groups, but I have kind of stepped away a little from groups, you know, that kind of stuff. So I don't always look into it. But I try. When I see something, I usually see it like 6 months after it happened, but I usually see it eventually. I will look into that. Take care, Robert. Hope you have a great day. Thank you for having been here. Yeah. I will have a look at that. Maybe later today, but make sure to send it soon so I don't forget again. I forget everything that's like a few hours into the future. Then I don't remember what I did. It's just I have a bad memory from that lime thing, you know? Okay. Yeah, these here, I'm not sure, did we have them? I think not, because they look like, they don't look like I would leave it like this. So I want to spray them and just move a few seedlings. And then I'm done here. We're almost through with the live stream. I didn't get to any of the seed stuff and I want to do it so urgently. I will get to that very soon. Like I will do a live stream that is just seed stuff very soon because I want to start packing some of the seeds. I want them out. I want them away. And yeah, so people can grow them. And we will do that sometime soon. Just cleaning seeds again. And I don't like it. I'd rather discuss plants. I'd rather discuss seedlings. It's just more fun. Okay, yeah, this goes back into the container. Nothing bad here. We could already take them out, but since I already decided today to bring a few, maybe not, let's bring them all at once. Because if we see that something goes bad, if they might still be too small, then maybe we can still put it up. Like we still have some that are inside. These here, some white ones in between. The day walkers, they don't have a lot of long-term chance here. They don't look good. Full albino variegated seedlings, probably not able to have everything it takes to survive, like to produce nutrients. So they need to stay in there a little longer. It doesn't mean that it's worse. Like they will not always repay that patience that you have with them, but sometimes they will. Sometimes you have a seedling that you kept around for long enough to turn around and recover. That happens, and that makes it worse to do it. Okay, yeah, and these are the last ones. Arboricola, Zelly. Still looking unhealthy, but also not getting bigger so far. We would say for now they are okay. These come out. These are on my list of seedlings that I want to take out because I see potential. Arboricola is such a hardy plant. We should be able to bring them out soon. Okay, yeah, that was it. All the seedlings through. A lot of stuff done. Not everything that I wanted to do. I wanted to sow out maybe. But yeah, we're doing that in the next weeks. I now have that thing just to show it again one last time. And this is not a sponsored thing. They should sponsor me, but this isn't sponsored. This is what my mom bought me. And we're growing little strawberries here. Like little forest strawberries, something like that. And we will see how it goes. That's something that I want to do in the next episodes of the live stream. Just because my mom bought me stuff, she wants to help the live stream, and I appreciate it. Aubergines, we will sow out. And some sort of a sweet watermelon, I think, was the other one. So yeah, lots of good stuff coming up. I consider moving the live stream outside very soon. I just want to have a clean workspace, and then we're going out. Yeah, I mean, this is probably a little bit like that. A little bit of soil, maybe a fertilizer, maybe a little bit of. I don't think that it's actually really compost because it would make it hard to make that, to preserve that thing, but it's something like that. And I'm looking forward to that. Just being able to try something new. I don't want to have the live stream always the same way. So that could be interesting. And again, thank you guys for being here all the time. I appreciate it. I think this is a good end for the live stream. I had a lot of fun again today. Thank you for having been here. I'll be back tomorrow. And if you have questions, just write a comment. Might actually film a little bit more during the day. But right now I do a lot of filming where I just rant and don't post it, you know? So thank you guys. Thank you everyone. Have a great day. I will be back tomorrow. Hope you have a great time. Thank you.